Greetings, friends, family, and fellow commanders. Welcome to the 8th episode of the SHEPARD Chronicles. When we last spoke, I was at the magnificent Magnus Nebula. Now, after 2 weeks of travel, I come to you at the end of Leg 3 from the top of the galaxy, more than 2,850 light years above the galactic plane. I'm on a planetary surface near a breathtaking carbon star. This location marks the near end of a week-long climb up the neutron star fields to the edges of the galaxy, high above the galactic core. Reaching this location was no easy task. In fact, we actually lost one commander during the process to the depths of the ether. During this transmission, I would like to recap this heroic effort on behalf of all SHEPARD commanders. This galactic climb is the end of a long journey that initiated Leg 3 at the beginning of the year 3303 at Beagle Point in the Solitude Void. We then traversed the emptiness of the Abyss and Galactic Aphelion. We crossed the Scutum Centaurus Arm. We explored the Styx and the Boreas region before entering the Perseus Stem. We explored over 7 nebula and discovered countless supernova remnants in the Perseus Stem before beginning our climb at waypoint 22, a few days after departing Magnus Nebula. Waypoint 22 marks the start of a dramatic climb to the galactic ceiling using the newly discovered Pulsar FSD boost technology. The base camp at waypoint 22 is a neutron star among a vast neutron star field and white dwarf nursery. It is significantly above the galactic plane, and as such serves as a great base camp before climbing to the very limits of the galactic ceiling. Once we have reached the highest systems in the galaxy, the pilots will perform the third and final super high-resolution photographic deep image scan of the galactic core. While all commanders began the climb at waypoint 22, each commander departed on their own independent route, trying to set records toward the galactic ceiling as a collective group of independent explorers. In the event that a commander got stranded or ran out of fuel, many of our commanders were equipped with fuel transfer limpets. Let's hope we don't need to use them. Meanwhile, my journey began as a rapid ascension toward a system my galactic map had found at 2,850 light years up. While I maintained heading for the most part, a few systems nearby caught my eye. 2 in particular. The first of which was a record-breaking B-class supergiant. In fact, this star was the largest B-class star ever discovered, coming in at a whopping 492.95 solar radius, or 343 million kilometers. The exceeding record was held by Commander Grasby, which was 492.33 solar radius, so my discovery just barely broke the existing record by less than 1 radius of the Sun, or 400,000 kilometers. The second record-breaking star I discovered was the largest O-class star, the hottest main sequence star in the galaxy. These behemoths are hot, blue-white stars of spectral type O and have a temperature in excess of 30,000 Kelvin or 60,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Stars of this type are particularly rare. Only 1 out of every 3 million main sequence stars are O-type stars. However, because they are usually very bright, they can be seen when further away than dimmer stars, and 4 of the 90 brightest stars as seen from Earth are O-type. O-class stars illuminate any surrounding material and are largely responsible for the distinct coloration of the galaxy's arms. Due to high temperature and luminosity, O-type stars end their lives rather quickly, and are typically located in regions of active star formation, such as the spiral arms or a pair of galaxies undergoing collision or merger. It is no coincidence that I found the largest O-class star located on the upper reaches of a spiral arm near the galactic core. The colossal star that I found was 228 solar radius, beating the previous record also set by Commander Grasbate by an astounding 4 solar radius, or almost 3 million kilometers. While white stars, such as B-class and O-class, do not grow as large or inflated as M and K-class supergiants, their energy is incredibly intense, and at the end of this phase, they will explode in a massive supernova, leaving a neutron star or black hole, as opposed to the mere whimper for the larger M and K red giants. Because I was able to find both of these record-breaking bodies in a relatively short period of time, in a similar region of space, I sent news of my discoveries back to the Universal Cartographic's record catalog. One way or another, the Galactic News Organization gathered wind of these discoveries and chose to publish an article covering these remarkable finds in the Sol Herald on February 17, 3303, titled, "Intrepid Explorer Shatters Exploration Records." This article features these discoveries and others by the SHEPARD Mission as At the time of their discoveries, each of the B and O-class stars mentioned here were record-breaking systems, the largest of their respective type ever discovered. These systems, however, were soon outdone, and at the time of this recording are no longer galactic record holders, their reign short-lived. That being said, the records were broken by other SHEPARD commanders, in particular Cmdr Taen and Ethereal Serial. As such, SHEPARD is continually achieving what we set out to do, to understand the scientific thresholds that make up our galaxy. Each day comes new discoveries, only to be superseded soon after by another on the SHEPARD mission. Even if SHEPARD ended today, it would be a massive success. But we still have 2 months remaining and a climb to continue. I soon crossed the threshold of 2,854 light years, more on this particular distance at a minute, and found multiple black holes, neutron stars, and red giant systems lining the fringes of intergalactic space. All of these systems have never been visited before, and I was the first to record information on their contents, composition, and coordinates that will later form part of my system database for the SHEPARD mission. While I was incredibly excited about this accomplishment, I must admit I was even more impressed with the view. around up here, visiting these completely unexplored systems is an absolute joy. The views offer a perspective unlike anything else in the galaxy. I traveled between systems, checking out each of the stars, planets, and moons, all while enjoying the backdrop of the galaxy below. The celestial sky is so clear up here, I can literally see the entire galaxy just by rotating in my seat. In fact, at one point, I actually turned my sights back towards Sol, which was no longer hidden by the countless stars and dust. From here, 32,600 light years away, I could see home, where this journey began 4 months ago. This photo will make a great postcard someday, if only there was any way to mail something up here. Nevertheless, I found some remarkable sights. The view was good from the top, and was truly able to push the boundaries of exploration. Let me take a moment to explain a brief history of exploration of the galactic limits. Commander Alatnil, in August 3301, began an epic journey that would define his legacy, one that would take him to the absolute furthest systems, to the limits of galactic space. At one point, it is believed that Commander Alatnil held the record for the furthest distance from Sol in each cardinal direction, including above and below the galactic plane. While 2,854 was his initial record for the highest distance above the plane, Commander Hags later broke this record, only, of course, to be further replaced by Commander Alatnil himself. The current distance record for the highest visited system above the core is known as the Summit, and is 3,173 light years up. I am surprised that Z direction, if you will, such as the top of the galaxy and bottom of the galaxy, are not nearly as covered and revered in the larger elite dangerous community as the distances in the XY direction, perhaps because they are so fluid and ever-changing. That being said, as part of the SHEPARD mission, we tried to push these limits to new boundaries of exploration at waypoint 22. We easily surpassed the 2,854 light years and 2,872 light years above the plane, thanks to our ship's improved jump ranges from the engineers. In fact, a few commanders on the mission were able to surpass these thresholds. It was rewarding to be part of such a great group effort. I was able to reach at least 10 systems beyond the historically high mark of 2,854. Another SHEPARD commander, Taen, actually reached 3,048 light years above the plane, the uppermost location out of all SHEPARD commanders. His trip, however, was one way and had to self-destruct. After using the ejected gases from a nearby neutron star to supercharge his frameshift drive, Commander Taen jumped into this distant system with no way to recharge his FSD for the return journey. He spent many days landed on a planet in this system trying to increase his jump range, searching for new materials to synthesize jumponium, jettisoning unneeded cargo, and even removing his last remaining SRV from his cargo hold. Even with a nearly empty fuel tank, all these efforts were not enough. Taen was less than 1 light year away from the required jump range needed to return to safety. His ship was stranded with no means of rescue. As such, his only option was to jettison his escape pod while traveling at light speed and scuttle the ship. As a result, Commander Taen lost much of his data from the SHEPARD mission, and once found, he would have to later return to these sectors to rescan their information. Just before his demise, Commander Taen transmitted this photograph, an incredible final view. Another tragedy of the SHEPARD mission indeed. While neither Cmdr Taen's system, now known as Taen's Folly, or any of the distances marked by other SHEPARD commanders were able to match the highest or lowest systems of the galaxy, known as the Summit and Mariana respectively, our climb was nevertheless an achievement, and one that I will never forget. So much so because my most memorable system came from this journey, and I would like to end this transmission with its brief description. Located 2,850 light-years above the galactic plane rests one of the most dramatic locations in the galaxy, my current location. On the fringe of intergalactic space is a large, red giant carbon star with a sole landable planet in its close proximity. The orbit of the metal-rich planet is perpendicular to the distant galactic dust and stars, serving as a perfect backdrop for intense light with the red giant in the foreground. In the distance, one can no longer discern distinctive stars, but rather the galaxy appears as a luminescent haze of glowing light and fire. In the foreground rests a Goliath CN carbon star red giant, 20.5 million kilometers in radius, or 29 times the radius of the Sun. This system, with its primary neutron star, serves as a distant point of departure for those trying to reach 3,000 light-years above the plane. Nearby are multiple black holes and neutron stars reachable only with jumponium at the upper limits of the galactic ceiling. Due to its location as a jumping-off point to explore the absolute fringes of the galactic ceiling, paired with its pure beauty, I've decided to make a base camp here. Stop for a few days and enjoy the warmth and light from this majestic star. Henceforth, this location shall be known as Goliath's Rest, and much like this red giant, I shall do the same. This location and waypoint serves as a fitting end to Leg 3 of the SHEPARD Mission. We have seen and discovered so much during this leg, the longest of SHEPARD. Next up will be Leg 4, a detailed surveillance of the galactic core, with the focus on new planetary nebula and stellar remnants. Leg 4 will also feature a layover at the historic locations of Sagittarius A and the Great Annihilator. At the beginning of Leg 4, deep below Sagittarius A, however, will be the SHEPARD Endurance SRV race, a 6-hour jaunt across the surface of a moon in sight of a vibrant blue planetary nebula. This race will be a featured location in the next SHEPARD Chronicles, known as Red River Run. But at this moment, however, I need not want to consider the future, but merely bask in the present, at my location at the summit of the galaxy, still alive at the heights of Goliath's Rest. If you liked this video or enjoyed its contents, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. Or better yet, just recommend and share it to someone you might think would also enjoy it. Until next time, this is Cmdr Parabolus, signing off.